What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. Another fantastic day here. No, it's actually okay. I'm okay as New Year's rapidly approaches. I cannot personally wait for this year to end. When I used to be really into spirituality, it's like, who's to say what's good or bad? But I don't see how this is good in any way, shape, or form. I can't figure that out at all. Like, what is the good when you deal with loss? But I do think it's natural and part of life. And I read this quote. Somebody said, he goes, "It's just your turn," and that helped me deal with it. But with the new year, I've talked about this. Like, I just stopped giving a fuck about saying things to people. I really stopped. In fact, this is a story from LA. I'll tell you real quick. There's this club called the Haha. I'll just use names. And it's a pretty popular club. Like, a lot of comics work at that club. And, I know the owners. And I used to go with my friend Adam Hunter, who's there all the time, who's an established comedian. And they've seen me perform, the bookers there, and they were like, "Hey, when are you gonna call in? When are you gonna call in?" And so I was always busy, but then finally I just called in one day. They're like, "Oh, come on Saturday night." So I performed on Saturday night, and I did really well. And then it was a packed show, but they didn't pay me, right? Like, I was walking out and I was like, "Are we not getting paid?" And I asked my friend, I was like, "Hey man, do we get paid here?" And he's like, "Dude, there's two types of comics here. The guys that get paid, the guys that don't. So if you want to get paid, you have to ask right now and set a precedent." So I walked right up to the booker and I was like, "Hey, are we getting paid?" And she's like, she kind of rolled her eyes, and then she's like, "Igor," like the bartender, she's like, "Pay him." And I got like $20 out of it or something. And I called in my veils after that. They never booked me again because, in my theory, I asked for $20, but that $20 was worth it, because, there's this story about Picasso. It's a famous story. I'm not saying I'm Picasso, but I like the lesson here. Like, he's like 85 years old or something outside, and somebody recognizes him. They're like, "Hey, Picasso, can I get this picture drawn on this napkin?" And I doodle something, and he's like, "Yeah, $20,000." And they're like, "It took you 10 seconds." And he's like, "Yeah, but it took me a lifetime to learn how to draw like this." Likewise, it took me years and decades to learn how to do stand-up. So when I don't get paid, for my services, it annoys me like no tomorrow. So there's this club in Florida currently, and there's like a New Year's show, and they were like, "Hey, can you come down and host 7 o'clock and the New Year's 9:30 show?" I'm sure it's sold out, both shows. No offer of payment, right? So I just texted the guy and I was like, "Are we getting paid?" No response. Then I called and they were like, "I'll call you back," meaning he needs to tell me, well, I'm not going to get paid, but I'm just going to drop out of the show. But I'm just telling you this stuff because, one, I truly don't give a shit anymore what people think about me. But, there's a precedent. Anything you do in life that you have to adhere to, and I'd almost rather not do comedy. And I'll just, write my scripts if that's what my career is. I'm not going to be some fucking homeless clown performing at clubs the rest of my life. Like, that's not going to happen, My mom would want that to happen. She'd want me to be a smart businessman. So I don't know. You gotta draw the line in the sand somewhere. And that's where the line is. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. We'll talk soon. Take care.